Hello, my name is Jacqueline Burkepile, and I am with ChurchPOP at EWTN. I'm here with the Sisters of Life. Can you tell me your name and your role in the film?
Sure. I am Sister Anne Immaculée, and we were interviewed, in the film,
Sister Veritas, I was also interviewed in the film,
How do you hope that this film will rejuvenate Catholics' love for the Eucharist?
I just want them to encounter him, and to see that Jesus thirsts for their heart and give them hope and a desire to spend time with him.
I think just to not be afraid to come to him. Like, there's no sin or darkness too big for his mercy, and he wants to give us his life. He wants to draw us to himself. So I just hope this really leads to a deep increase in prayer, actually.
Would you say that that's the one thing that you hope that people take away from this?
Definitely, to want to experience the love of Jesus more deeply, absolutely,
and that they can give him permission in their lives, that he actually wants to work wonders in our lives, and it's just, often he just waits for our permission, and he wants to give us his life, so just encourage people to, give God permission.
Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me. I really appreciate it.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Jacqueline Burkepile, and I am with ChurchPOP at EWTN. We're here at the Jesus Thirst, the Miracle of the Eucharist red carpet premiere, and I am here with Deacon Steve Greco and Marianne Greco. Can you tell me what your role was in the film and why you decided to do a project like this?
So we started a movement called I Thirst, and we went to various conferences, various cities, in which we knew that it's so important that people understand the real presence and understand how much Jesus is thirsting for us. Have like St. Mother Teresa of Calcutta, when Jesus came to her and said, I thirst for souls. So in this movement, we focus on the real presence. We focus on the Eucharist. We focus on creating evangelists. And from that, working with Jim Wahlberg, he said, there's a movie here. And so we went and met with Tim Moriarty, and he wrote the script. That was a beautiful script. And so we want to get to as many lives as possible, as many souls as possible. Because, we're in crisis. We are in crisis right now. Where we are in the church, where we are with our young people, we are in crisis. And so it's so important that we made this movie so people can understand from the very beginning of before even the Bible was created, that everyone focused around the Mass and the Eucharist.
So how do you hope that this entire film just rejuvenates the love of Jesus in the Eucharist, the real presence?
So I am inviting those that, all Catholics, maybe you're in love with Jesus Christ and there's no problem. But so many people are a little bit lukewarm. Maybe they don't go to Mass every Sunday. Maybe deep in their heart, they really don't understand the power of the Eucharist. So we want you to really be rejuvenated. And for those 50 million that have left the Catholic Church, we want you to check out this film. Look at what you left. Because there's nothing like the Catholic Church. There's nothing like the Mass. And so what's going to happen is that people are going to come back to the church like never before. But you have to see the film. That's the key. You have to see the film. So bring your friends, bring your neighbors, bring everybody, bring your children. We're partnering with the National Catholic Educators Association. All the Catholic schools are our partner on this. So we want people to really understand the power of the Eucharist, and everything changes.
Hello, my name is Jacqueline Burkepile, and I am with EWTN's ChurchPOP. Here I am with Bishop Kevin Vann of the Diocese of Orange. Hi, Bishop. How are you doing? Well, it's good to see you. So why do you think people should see this film?
For many reasons. I think it's good Catholic evangelization. It's good for the faith. It's an invitation to believe.
And how do you think it will help people grow in their love for the Eucharist?
I'm with a lot of people all the time who really love the Eucharist. So I think it just strengthens that.
What was your role in this film?
My role is kind of promotional and also kind of the follow-up from the film. So the film kind of hooks you in, and then I have what's called the I Thirst follow-ups, which are catechism that really teaches people how to go even deeper into their faith. And once they kind of get hooked in by the movie, they're learning more about the sacraments, more about how to be a really strong Catholic, how to be a good, strong dad, really good, strong mom, good, student of the Catholic faith, etc. Kind of just going deeper into the faith afterwards.
So how do you hope that this film will rejuvenate love for the Eucharist, especially in the United States?
Yes, so this film is so important because it really shows the miracles of the Eucharist. It also shows the firsthand testimonies of people who have basically given everything of themselves to suffer for the Eucharist. So it's people who have found their complete meaning and happiness in the Eucharist, which is pure eternal happiness, the highest happiness that you can have. And so showing that to everybody is super important, and then also just winning them to see that too.
If there was one thing that you would want people to take from this film, what would it be?
The Eucharist is our life. It's everything for us. It is our pure happiness. It is our meaning of life. It's what brings us to heaven.
Hello, my name is Jacqueline Burkepile, and I am here with Chris Stefanick. I'm with ChurchPOP at EWTN. How are you?
Yeah, my friends at EWTN. Love you guys. Yeah, thank you.
So, what was your role in the film?
Anything Jimmy Wahlberg asked me to do, I just say, yeah, sure. So that was my first role, was saying, sure. He's like, can I come by with the camera crew? All right, let's do this. And it was amazing. I didn't have a full picture of what was going to happen. And they sat in my office, which was just teensy space, and what I saw in the film was like, wow, that tied in perfectly. So and it looked beautiful from my teensy little office. So, but my role, and I think the reason they asked me to do it, is that I have a calling and focus on the core message of the gospel. I preach an invitation for people to follow Jesus, which when we forget that's what the Eucharist is about, that's what the Catholic faith is about, then it strikes people as nothing but disjointed rituals and rules that have nothing to do with your life. It's just like marriage. If you forget the context that is your love and your exchange of hearts, well, all you're left with from the outward perception is a burdensome commitment, right? So I was honored to focus on that in my short reflections in the film, and how the Eucharist is our everything because why? Because there's a God and He loved us and He gave His life to us and He called us to give ourselves back, and here, take and eat. That's what the Eucharist is all about.
Well, how do you hope that this film rejuvenates and gives life to people who don't believe?
Joy will invite people to Jesus, and I think that this film, I think the first people it touches are going to be Catholics, who it gives them permission to rejoice again. Rejoice in what we have as in our faith. Rejoice in the Eucharist. Don't be afraid to do that. And the world labels us in so many horrible ways, and it will reduce all that is Christian history to a patriarchal group that hates different subgroups of society. Like, that's the reduction, and so many Christians take on this defensive role. Let's go on the offense with our joy again, not with an explanation, but first and foremost with, hey, this is the best thing ever. I'm not afraid to tell everybody that.
Cool. Is there anything else you'd like to say to our audience?
No, that sums it up. I love ChurchPOP. I love EWTN.
Well, thank you, Chris.
God bless you.
God bless you too. Hello, my name is Jacqueline Burkepile, and I am here with Father Donald Calloway. Father Calloway, I'm with ChurchPOP at EWTN. How are you today?
I'm doing great. Yeah, it's good to see you again.
How do you think that this film is going to impact people throughout the country, especially in a time whenever we just found out that 70% of U.S. Catholics do not believe in the true presence of the Eucharist?
Right. Yeah, that's a crisis, right? So I think that this film and everyone who's been involved in it, that's been a big part of it, is wanting to really bring back an awareness that what Jesus said He really meant, that He is truly present in the Blessed Sacrament. It's not a symbol, it's really Him. And if we can get that belief back, and I think that this film is going to be a big part of helping to restore that belief. We're in the Eucharistic revival, right? So right now, we've got an opportunity, June 4th, 5th, and 6th to see this film in the theaters nationwide. Bring your family, bring your friends, bring the people that may not want to go, buy them a ticket, and maybe they'll have a conversion. Maybe they'll come back and start going to church again. That's my prayer. As a priest, that's my prayer.
If there is one thing you would want people to take away from this film, or just anything, what would it be?
I guess it would be that, in these crazy times, because everybody knows that the world is just going haywire, bonkers, right? God is still here. and he still loves us, madly in love with us. And he's a prisoner, literally, like in a tabernacle in every Catholic church, 24/7, waiting, panting for our friendship, and for us just to spend time with him. And I think that, by seeing this film, I think people are going to start coming back to church, and they're going to be like, oh my goodness, I have really neglected the God who loves my soul so much that I'm going to start going more frequently. And maybe even during the week, I'm going to just swing by and say hello to Jesus in the Blessed Sacrament in the tabernacle as a sign of my love. That would be great.
Thank you so much. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Yeah, I just want to encourage everybody to go see it. I mean, I'm so excited. Actually, my mom and my dad have already bought their tickets. They're ready to go. So, come everybody, see it.
Well, thank you so much, Father Donald Calloway. It's always good to see you.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Jacqueline Burkepile, and I am with ChurchPOP with EWTN. How are you today?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. Can you tell me your role in the film, your name and your role in the film?
So I'm Tim Moriarty, the director and writer. And my name is Stefan Slovak. I'm a producer and co-writer of the film.
Can you tell me what you hope people take away from this film, especially when 70% of U.S. Catholics don't believe in the true presence?
I think what we hope people take away is a new set of eyes. There's a way in which we've grown numb. There's a way in which we've grown blind to a gift that is in front of us, that's on offer in every church, in every parish, in every neighborhood, and we have grown cold to that. Our hearts have grown very cold, and our eyes have grown blind. So we hope that this film opens people's eyes to this gift and really lights a fire in their hearts that they share with their neighbors, they share with their parish, and that we can really bring about a Eucharistic revival in this country.
And I would just add that there's a real depth to the Eucharist. This is not just some idea that somebody has come up with. There is a strong scriptural basis to this. There is a beautiful, deep tradition, a beautiful theology found in the Church. Now, today, 2024, we're now seeing that science and faith are finding common ground. There's a complementarity there as we begin to examine and explore the Eucharistic miracles that are before us.
Now, why did you decide to take on this film?
Well, we had previously worked on a film, Mother Teresa, No Greater Love, and there was a conversation that was happening here in Orange between Jim Wahlberg, who was an executive producer on that film, and Deacon Steve Greco. And so we got a call in the spring of 2023 that said, hey, we think there's a film here. We think that the film needs to be about the Eucharist as a gift to the Church in this time of Eucharistic revival. And to us, it was like, as soon as we heard that, this absolutely, yes, this is what's needed. This is absolutely what that we need to share with the Church today. So for us, it was a gift to be able to work on this project. It really felt providential.
I mean, I think, as Tim said, a big part of it is Eucharistic revival. I mean, everybody has been called to do what they can to really rekindle that belief in the real presence. And I think that it was important for us to work with the bishops, to work with so many of the different people who are doing incredible things, answering this call in really big ways, but in also really quiet ways, one-on-one, hiding in plain sight. So for us, it's being able to tell this story that's playing out right in front of us here in the country.
Hi, my name is Jacqueline Burkepile, and I am here with Jim Wahlberg, one of the producers for Jesus Thirst, the Miracle of the Eucharist. Hi, Jim. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm good. What would you like people to take from this film, especially when 70% of U.S. Catholics do not believe in the true presence of the Eucharist?
Well, I'm hoping that we're going to change their minds about that we're going to reintroduce them to the truth, and the truth being that Jesus is truly present in the Eucharist. I think that for a variety of reasons, I think there's there's enough blame to go around, I think. But we're just hoping to take this opportunity to introduce people to Jesus.
If there is one thing in the film that you really want people to take in, what would it be?
Well, I mean, there are so many things, right? I think that we do dramatizations, right? I think that they're absolutely beautiful, stunning. But if I have to be honest, I'm a little bit partial to, we go to a prison and we meet men that are doing forever. And they're the happiest men I've met in like a year, right? They're full of the Holy Spirit. They're in love with Jesus, and they're in prison. And literally, one guy told me, he said, I'm the happiest I've ever been right now, and he's in prison. So that just speaks to the power of Jesus, you know?
That is so beautiful. Is there anything else you'd like to add for the viewers at ChurchPOP?
This is, I think, my hope is that people will go out in groups and see this film and have a conversation. The fact that Fathom has given us 2 time slots per day, they've never done that before. So there's a 4 o'clock show for our older folks who don't like to be out at night. And believe me, I'm one of the older folks that don't like to be out at night, right? And for our younger kids, right? After school, this is a great way for them to spend an afternoon, right? Learning about Jesus, helping in their formation, right? Because again, I think we're not doing the best job forming the faithful.
Well, thank you so much for telling me all of that. I really appreciate it. And I wish the best with the movie.
Thank you. God bless you.
God bless you too.